Meet me in the foyer.
I've already seen the trailer for the latest British romantic comedy, vying for our affections multiple times at the multiplex. It looks to me like it sits somewhere between Chalet Girl, starring Felicity Jones, and Days of the Bagnalled Summer, starring Monica Dolan. But I haven't seen it, so we'll have to wait to find out if I'm even close. I'm very intrigued to see if this comical tale of teenage romance from Working Title have already gifted us Crime 101 and The Sheep Detectives this year will be the latest hit British comedy following the footsteps of Bank of Dave, Ballad of Wallace Island, and Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. Let's find out. Linda has the answers.
I didn't know anything about this movie. I genuinely, even like 2 weeks before, I had no idea. I just thought it was like a little sort of a kind of teeny boppy a rom-com, and that it was going to come and go and nobody will hear about it. I have to say, I was very, very mistaken because this is so much more than that. It's a film that has guitar bands, alternative culture, two very good looking, incredibly likable leads,
Hmm.
and a whole load of really beautifully nostalgic needle drops. This is a movie called Finding Emily, and it's the kind of romantic comedy you would have seen, you really rarely see nowadays, but you would have seen in sort of late to mid 80s, early 90s. And there's a reason why it works. It's because it was actually made by the same people, by Working Title. And we all know Working Title, and they are the kings of British romantic comedy. I absolutely love this movie. I thought, I wish the director, Alicia MacDonald, and the screenwriter, Rachel Hyons, I wish they'd had the balls to actually set it in early 90s or late 80s, because it would have made so much more sense for this to be, because everything about this movie, it's set in Manchester. It has that kind of Manchester sort of almost like indie, like mid 80s, early 90s indie heart, like it has people are dressed like that. People are dressed the way people used to dress that way. It's Manchester University, St. Manchester University. You get these kind of like ramshackle flats shared by students, a really cute storyline. Everything about this movie genuinely is nostalgic to a point where I just wished it had been set then. I did not understand why. When I first saw that someone had an iPhone, my heart sank because I just wanted it to live in that world.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you saw uh, the um uh the adaptation of Once One Day. Is it One Day or Once? No, One Day. On Netflix. It was adapted to a film years ago, and then to and it had that feeling like of innocence, of like a
Oh.
pre-social media, pre-internet, like sort of going to gigs and like listening to music. And I'm not going to go on too much because I've got to the point I've been speaking for about 5 to 6 minutes and I haven't said what the movie is about. So as I said, this is the film takes a really simple rom-com premise and turns it into something really genuinely charming and emotionally sincere. So it follows the story of Owen Brompton. He's played by Spike Fern, who is brilliant in this. He's all sort of mank like accent and swagger, but not in an obnoxious way. Think more, I don't know, like think more Johnny Marr than any of the Gallagher brothers.
Yeah.
Like he's a musician, but he's also a sound engineer who works in the student union and university. He doesn't go to university, but he works at the student union. And on one evening, while he's doing his job, he meets this girl she's like the manic pixie dream girl type, where they have like a meet cute and they're chatting all night, and then she says, I've got to go, I'm invited to a friend's birthday party in Canal Street in Manchester. But he runs after her to go and get her details. and she gives him her phone number. And then he goes off home and he's happy. He's like, oh, really excited. The next morning, he tries to call her, and there's one digit missing from the phone. So what does he do? Like, not like any normal human being. I mean, any normal human being, he would have just, forgot about it and moved on with his life. What he does is decides to go searching for this Emily who goes to this university. And lo and behold, he gets to meet another Emily. He's been told that his Emily might be this other girl who's an American girl
Oh.
studying, I think, philosophy, and she's played by Angourie Rice. She is really brilliant in this, and with the help of this new Emily, he decides to go searching for his dream girl. And as life would have it, I mean, the two start to fall for each other, but she's been keeping a secret from him, and he doesn't really realize that it isn't the original Emily that he really wants. All in all, I genuinely think it is such an original idea, and it's like, your typical run-of-the-mill rom-com narrative. But at the same time, what makes this different? It's where it's set. It's not set in London. It's
Mm.
the hero isn't some kind of like, posh boy from sort of a well-to-do family. He's a working class boy from Manchester who's just lost his mum to cancer, who's him and his brother have to sell the house they've lived in all their lives to so that they can afford to live, really. And it's I there is so much about this film that makes me want um, a revival of the working class rom-com. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the rom-com has been overtaken by middle class or upper middle class Londoners, and it almost feels as if you're working class, you really don't deserve a happier ever ending. Um, I love this, and I love the music. There's loads of like sort of, as I say, iconic um, indie the needle drops. So the guy is also a musician. So you see him go on stage and plays. It also felt like it almost was reviving the sort of musical culture, because I feel like Gen Z hasn't really given a shit about music for a very long time. And if this is going to make them change their minds about live music, about indie music, then I just think so it does follow like a sort of a familiar formula, but at
Mm.
the same time, there's humor. It's very funny. There's genuine emotional core. It's nostalgic, but not overly nostalgic or dated. And it's just lovely and sweet. And everything about it I loved. I was genuinely not expecting to love it as much as I did. And the two leads are very lovely and very good at what they do. And when this comes out in America, I think this is going to do really well as well. So let's see. 4 out of 5 stars on my behalf. I just, was not expecting to love it as much. Yeah, I loved it.
Wonderful.
Mm.
As soon as I saw the trailer, I thought I'm definitely going to be seeing this.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't imagine it would get
Yeah,
such a glowing review.
yeah, yeah.
I
Minnie
have
Driver is also in it. Sorry to interrupt you. There's
no.
also Minnie Driver plays the dean of the university. Very funny role. I just wish it was a bit two-dimensional. Look, this is not like reinventing the wheel or anything.
Mm.
I just thought I really liked. I I wanted to watch a movie about normal human beings, normal working class, and a normal working class kid getting his sort of happy ending, and and I feel like British rom-coms have always been about the poshos, about
Mm.
the do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
especially films made by working title, and it's nice for once that it's not set in London. It's and the North gets you know, a
Yeah.
say once
Oh,
again.
yeah, absolutely. It's I mean the sort of plot of a lovelorn person who is assisted in finding his love by someone who's also got feelings for them, and they don't realize
Cyrano de
what's
Bergerac.
happening. Yes, or even like a Bronte or something like
Oh
that,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
it's even got a slight whiff of Rear Window
Yeah.
with Midge, and you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
sort of you because you always feel sorry for Midge watching Rear Window,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
wasting her time on Scotty. But
Mhm.
oh, that's great. I hadn't even realised, and I say I've seen the trailer multiple times, that Spike is from Alien Romulus, and
Yeah, yeah,
Angora Rice
yeah,
is been in. She was the child in Nice Guys, and she's been in all the Spider-Man films as
yeah.
well. Yeah, oh, wonderful. Really looking forward to seeing that then.
And he was really good in Alien Romulus. He was
Yes.
really fantastic in Alien Romulus. And yeah, brilliant. I really loved it. Nothing. I have nothing to say about it. I just think, I mean, obviously it's aimed for a younger generation, so it's not always going to sort of. I felt like I genuinely wanted it not to be, because there's lots of references to TikTok and
Mm.
Instagram and all that. I just don't think this movie needed that. I just wish it had the sort of, as I say, the balls to
Mm.
really go for sort of a proper nostalgic piece set in the early 90s or late 80s. That would have
Yeah.
been so much better.
Oh, well, they'll yes, they, but for next for part two, perhaps
Yeah.
refinding Emily. Um, yeah, brilliant. Right, that sounds like a fantastic option if you're heading to the box offices this weekend. Thank you very much, Linda.
Meet me in the foyer.